Hi everybody, and we are rolling on with our October bullet journal theme. I'm really sorry that this month I'm a little bit late. We literally are starting October in 2 days, but better late than never. Let's show you what you have got in store for October. So we have got a rainbow themed autumnal kind of idea. Actually, my rainbow theme on Pinterest is my most pinned bullet journal, and I never did. It was before I started doing bullet journal tutorials, so never quite did it. So I thought this one would be a good idea to kind of recreate for October. We've got lovely fall kind of colours with these kind of falling leaves as well as the rain, and the weather's been so mixed in the UK. We just had a glorious rainbow the other day and it just inspired me. So there we go for October. I'll run you through the template. Let's have a look what we've got. So we have got our cover page artwork, and as usual I've given the option for a coloured or just a blank. If you don't want to go too crazy, you can do as you please. And then our weekly spread with a little bit of a nod. I always like to track my sleep. I think it's really important to kind of link. Sometimes I can link it with my cycle, and sometimes it's just good to know that if I'm having a ratty day, is it because I haven't actually slept that well? So I really like having the sleep tracker on the weekly page, but you could change that to anything you want. You can tailor it. Then we've got our dailies. Again, each day just with a little mindful kind of piece of colouring. I went to an open day at school yesterday for secondary schools, and one of the teachers was just there mindfully colouring in religious studies and was talking about how great mindful colouring in is. And then I thought, gosh, it really is. And I don't think about it, but every day, if you do this in your journal, you've got your own little mindful colouring in. You could also do it in black and white and leave it to colour in on the day. I set mine up on a Sunday usually, and I set up the week ahead just to speed things up. But you could quite easily just do this in an outline, black and white, and then colour it in on the day. Just give yourself 10 minutes of mindfulness. So we've got our habit tracker for October, and our mood tracker, which is a rainbow with these teardrops, and you've got your happy face, meh face, not so great, not so bad, and yeah, this not so great face. So that's my colour code for my mood tracker. And just some headings. If you wanted to make your own spread, you can use my typeface. You can cut those out, use them as stickers, trace them through, whichever you please. So that's all the template that's included. If you are a Patreon member, it is free for you to download. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can head over to our website, and the link will be in the comments for you to go and download your own template. Also, we're going to have a list of all of the colours. I have got a bit crazy for colours this month, so you do not have to use exactly the same colours, but I will list everything that I've used in the comments. So in a range of kind of autumnal tones, especially the burnt red and the yellow. These are two colours that I think are really key. And a new one that I've bought, oh, it's not this one, it's this one. A new pen that I've bought, which is this kind of taupey colour, which I think is going to be a really good, useful colour to have in my palette. So those ones are new. I've also got this new yellow, because sometimes this one's a little bit too dirty, so I'll put all of the numbers in. I did do a little bit of a restock. I got them from Cult Pens. If anybody in the UK wanted to purchase from there, I'll put the link below. I've also got a jelly roll, which is Sakura. These are my favourite white gel pens. They definitely come out more opaque than any pen I've tried. Tombow, I cannot find a 0.1 that is as good as this. The nibs wear down quite quickly, but I'm just basically keeping a stock of 0.1s. And I've just bought this one in a 0.8 I really like using the 0.8 for titling when I don't want it to be too thick. I think the 0.8 is a really good choice. And this colour, mild liner, I struggle with mild liner because they don't, as far as I know, they don't have colours on them. But I can't seem to match this well enough to Tombow, so I keep on coming back to this kind of corally pinky orange colour. So that's our colours. So let's get into practicing. Let me get my trusty working journal out for you and we'll zoom in. So really straightforward this month, I hope. We are just producing rainbow shapes. So you can do them as big, as little, as wide, as full, as many colours, as little colours as you want, but all you're looking for is an arch shape. And I've been using the brush tip of the Tombow and then just filling in the top, because naturally with it being a slanted tip, you're going to get that kind of calligraphy downstroke, upstroke. So you just, if you wanted to make it more even, just fill in the top edge and then you just follow that round. So we'll go in with my yellow, and again I'm just filling in there. You don't have to, you can leave it however you wish. And then on some of these I've kind of just doodled. I'm going to go in a little bit closer for you. So on some of them I've got my 0.1 pen out and I've done just little hearts around, so you can choose to do that if you please. Or on some of them I've put like crosses just to create a pattern, or you could do like dots. You could do this in a different colour if you wanted and not use black, but just doodle away however you feel the moment takes you. You can also fill in the space between. You might want to put in almost like a dotted line, so you could do that if you wish. It's where you can get a bit creative, there's no rhyme or reason. So the other thing we've got involved is a couple of different leaf shapes. So one of them's a very kind of traditional, kind of what I would call traditional leaf shape anyway. And I'm going to leave that for a minute if you wanted to add in some detail. And then we've got another one which, I don't know, is it more of a kind of oaky leaf shape, where you would have a kind of more rounded edges. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but we'll come back and it'll make more sense when we put some lines in and some stalks and some details in. And then we've got kind of like a maple leaf shape, which you've got the pointed edge to it, and then you've got, it's almost like a star. You've got some other points coming out here, and then you have maybe 2 points. It is quite a star shape actually. You have got the option if you want to just kind of add an extra leaf in or whatever, I don't know. We'll do it like that. So on all of these I've kind of gone in with the finer line just to add a little detail. So you've got your centre stem, and then I've just added some veins in to make it more like a leaf. Shall we zoom in just so you can see the detail? And then I actually think the oak leaf, I've missed it. Well, let's start it again. Let's start that again. See, even I do things wrong sometimes. I think we need like an extra leaf. I think it's more like 5. It looks 5 would look better. And I'm going to do it the other way around. So I'm going to do like a point there and then come up either side. I think doing it upside down just threw me. A bit like the maple leaf, but with rounded edges. And we'll zoom in and I'll show you. Say on the maple leaf, so we're gonna just do our kind of stalks and then just a little bit of vein detail, as much or as little as you wish, up to you, but it just gives you the idea of that it is a leaf. I mean, you could just do it, you could just leave it with just that kind of thing if you wanted. It doesn't have to be with the veins. I definitely think having the 5 leaves looks more like a flower, I'm not quite sure. So yeah, go with 5 leaf points or rounded points, whichever. The other thing we've got in there is some clouds. Really straightforward. 1 lump. Oh look, traditional kind of like, you know, primary school cloud. And then we've also got raindrops. So I've just done like a teardrop shape and dotted those around. Only because it worked so well on this September Pinterest idea that I had. I've kind of like had these almost hanging as if they were like a mobile, like a child's mobile, and just joined them to the top. And then I've put some detail on the clouds where I've used the white jelly roll pen just to put some straight lines, just to add a little bit of doodly texture and break up the solid lines a little bit. I think that covers all of the shape. Oh, we've also got mushrooms as a little follow-on from last month's mushroom theme. On mine, I've actually done it all in yellow, but I thought actually what would be quite nice is to do like a traditional like toadstool shape. So you've got like, let me zoom in on that. We've got the red top to it, and if you wanted you could use your jelly roll pen and just put some little white spots. It's quite cute, isn't it? I like that. I'm good. Very cute. And then the next thing as well is just with a little bit October kind of Halloween coming up, I've done a pumpkin. So I think like if you think of like having a stalk and then doing a curve out there and a curve, fill that in and we can add a little bit of detail afterwards. This is why I can't seem to find a Tombow pen that matches. I thought I had, but it's just too red. So I'll have another look at my Tombow reference colours and see if I can match that mild liner a little bit better for you. I'm going to go straight in just to show you with the shading, but I actually would have left this a little bit longer because it might bleed. It has bled just a little bit, but just to give that kind of pumpkin shaping to it. And if you wanted, you can add a little leaf to the top. It's up to you. You could change the colour of that, whatever, however you feel. So that's our pumpkin shape. That covers, apart from I've dotted a few hearts around, I think that covers all of the shapes. Simple heart. There we go. I mean, I'm sure we've all practiced hearts throughout our childhood. So all of the shapes that I needed for this month's bullet journal. Let's get stuck in with the template. So let's just get a clean fresh page and let's get the template out. Okay, so a moment for you. That would be your template if you were to fit it onto an A5 page. You can scribble pencil lines on the back and use that to trace through. If you were now, you can kind of see my lines around here. If you were to do that, what you'll find is you get a really faint, now to you that looks like it's a blank page. To me, if you zoom in, you can see just a guideline. That's all I want, because I am going to do this almost freehand, but I just want to know roughly where everything fits, just so I can fit it all on the page, because you know I want it all on there. So what we're going to start by doing is picking a colour and going in for a rainbow. So I find it, because on some of these colours I do actually want them to dry, because I might be going over. So can you see? I'm not quite on the page. So what I'm going to do is almost like, because I've got a template to work from, I know where I want the red. So I'm actually going to go in, put all of the red in first, and then come back to you. I'm going to do that for each colour. That is only because I've made a decision about where I want things. If you're doing totally freehand and your own thing, you just kind of build your rainbows as you need, as and when. Following the template in some respects does take a bit of your creativity away, but I got my creativity done when I designed the template. And I think I've said this many a time, when I'm doing the template, I look at balance and, you know, how colours are looking together, where I think needs a bit more of, you know, like a darker tone, where needs, you know, brightening up. So that's why I prefer to follow the template, because I've kind of already done the work. So if we zoom out, you'll see that I've kind of balanced. I've got some dark colours over here and I've got some over here. Now, I almost feel like I could go with some more red here, but I've actually know that I've got a darker cloud. So that's why I've kind of balanced it that way. So for now, that's what I've done with the red. And I'm just gonna come back to you, speed it up and do this for each colour, so that when we come around, we'll be ready to go into detail. Okay, so as you can see, I've got kind of all my rainbow shapes and my clouds where I kind of feel like I want them to be. Now, in the middle of everything, sorry, I'm just sitting down, I do have raindrops everywhere, so I'm actually going to leave those to last. We're going to put some detail in now, whilst the pen should have had time to dry. So let's have a look at, first of all, let's put some of the lines onto the cloud area. So we're just going to go in with, you could do anything, you could do horizontal lines, you could do dots, anything you fancy. I just think it's nice to add, it's quite a big flat shape otherwise, and it just gives a little bit of detail. My jelly roll pen is on its way out. And I'm annoyed because I literally did a whole pen shop and it took ages to come. I should have ordered, never mind. Okay, so then if I wanted, I'm just going to put some dots around here just to give that a bit of detail. Cute little dots. And what else I want to put, because I've now got red toadstools, I want to put some dots on there to make those look a bit cuter. Maybe put some white dots to break up this yellow, and I think that's about it for now. You can see how you feel, where you want to add things in. This one, I want to make this one a bit sketchy, so I'm also going to go in with some other details. So maybe put some little black circles onto this lighter beige colour. I think on the template it's got like a grey line through it, so again, you don't have to do exactly what the template's got. And then maybe some little hearts, just doodled. It's quite hard to do them at this angle. But actually, if you do like an oval next to an oval, that works just as well. Okay, so what else do I want? Maybe just put like another row of little dots in there. Okay, so we can also add in our detail to our leaves. So we've got our kind of oaky leaf shape here, and maybe more, just make sure I'm on screen, more of a detailed one over here with some veins. And again, you're getting that whole mindfulness side effect here. I mean, to be honest, that is the reason why I do it. Also, I just think, I mean, I am a bit addicted to bullet journaling. It's super cute, and especially with me spending more and more time at my part-time job, I'm getting less time to be creative every day. So this really is my kind of creative outlet. I think for next year, one of my goals would be to maybe do a bit more creativity. I get quite caught up with all of the to-dos. Oh, I don't know why I outlined that, but you know, that's what happens sometimes. You can just go freehand, whatever takes your fancy. But yeah, I think next year I definitely want to start kind of giving myself that time. I know we always say me time. It's so hard when you've got a busy life, if other things are priorities, kids, dogs, partners, it all racks up really quickly. But it's so important for our self-preservation to do these things for us. So if journaling is something, like me, you feel is something for you and is your time, then, you know, make it a priority for yourself. You know, I mean, the journal club massively helps me because I have it in the calendar. Obviously, we don't always stick to plan, hence this month has lapsed over just a little bit, but you know, I have it the kind of week before the end of the month. I have it in the calendar that I need to do the journal, and it keeps me on track most of the time. But it's just kind of a reminder to spend some time doing something that I love to do. Just adding a little bit of a spot of detail in there. And that's the thing, as you're going in, you can kind of think that needs a little something in there, and you can just add in wherever you feel you need it. So the next thing I'm going to do is add these little strings, these little kind of mobile strings. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see the full page. So it really is just that. It's imagining like it's a child's mobile. I think that's where the inspiration came from. And each of these kind of hanging shapes is connected. So I just try and work out, and it's easier if you can follow, if you've got a dotted journal, if you can follow the dotted lines, it gives you a good guide as to where you're going. It might not always be central. That one's not that central. That's okay, because we are in charge here. There's no right or wrongs. Like I say, we've got a template if we want to follow it, but it's personal preference. Okay, so everything is almost attached there, so that only leaves now, obviously our titling, but I like to leave that till last, to go in and do some raindrops, which I will speed us up because there's quite a few to fill in. But you can see now with the finished picture, there's lots of gaps that we can start to fill in with our raindrops. Okay, so I didn't didn't realise some of that was off the screen, so sorry about that, but we did fill in the bottom. And I'm just going to add, because I've noticed I haven't added the kind of shadowing to my pumpkin, so I'm just going over it this time just with the same colour pen. You can choose a darker one if you wish, but I'm just going to go with the same colour for that one. And then we're going to go with our October title. I'm going with my Tombow black on the fine liner side, and as I always say with this, if you are copying my writing, then just take it one step at a time. Okay, so October, there we go. And last but not least, my go-to is the stamp set, which is in stock. I just haven't listed it on the website, so as soon as the 2024 planners are out there, which they will be, all pre-orders will be sent by next week, I will get on to updating the stock levels. So October starts on a Sunday. There we have our month to view. Let's zoom out and see what we're left with. There we go, our rainbow autumn cover page for October. So I really hope that you love creating this one. It's a fun design to do, and I just think it looks really cute and doodly. So I'd love to see what you get up to for October. Tag me as always, and I'll see you next month.